Peggy Bolton. First of all, hey, she's here to stay. Join the winning team. Peggy Bolton.
Hi, my beautiful pals. How are you? It's the same. Oh yeah, it's Mahoya Pa. Welcome back to another video on this beautiful channel. If you're new here, I've caught you. You have to subscribe and join the winning team, and then become a Peggy's Pearl. Do you like the name? I'm trying. So today's video is gonna be a little bit on the serious side. I'm gonna be telling a story. A story I have kept to myself for years.
Hey, and you know, your mom is going to be watching. Your mom has told her friends to subscribe. All your friends, they're all going to know. Me, I'm shy. Stop, please.
Honestly, I don't know if I'm willing to spill every information about it, but I believe that this might help a young girl out there or even a young boy to stay out of trouble. I mean, you're gonna learn a lot. But before I start to tell the story, maybe to stall a little bit, I want to talk about some of the things that have been happening, I've heard and seen happening in my country, Ghana. A couple of weeks ago, the CID boss made us a press conference and told us a series of sexual crimes that had occurred in Ghana. And I was shook because I've always thought that some crimes are just too risky, are just too dangerous for Ghanaians to indulge in. Only to hear these things 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, wow, Ghanaians are snakes under grass. Because, in a way. But one of the stories stuck out to a lot of people because it involved a public figure. This guy, his name is So African. Of course, that's his nickname. He's a socialite, a social media personality, a fashion brand owner, and all of that. And frankly, even I used to admire him from afar. His fashion sense, his swag, his iconic straw hat or whatever hat it was that he was wearing, it was unique to him. And so he had presence and he was involved in nightlife and all of that. Only for us to hear that this guy has been drugging unsuspected women, first of all, luring them to his place, drugging them, sexually assaulting them, and videoing them without their consent, selling those contents to a Telegram page called Sleep Fetish something something. And I'm like, what? Why? What was the reason? And to me, it's the fact that he's so unsuspecting. This reminds me that even, I always say this, even golden retrievers are still dogs. Because ain't no way this guy was actually doing this in a country called Ghana. Unfortunately for him, or fortunately for the victims, he did it to foreigners. They were American visitors. Maybe they came visiting for Dirty December. I'm unsure of that part of the story, but this got international bodies involved, and that's how come he was caught. So we're all wondering, how many women has he done this to in Ghana? Like Ghanaian women who live in Ghana, who have no voice. Nothing would have been done to solve this problem if he didn't do this to foreigners, which is crazy to me, which goes to show that the number of, and for the purpose of this video and the fact that I'm unsure of YouTube rules, I'm going to be replacing the red with grape, okay? It's a term used on social media to avoid strikes and all of that. So I'm like, this reminds me of the fact that not all rape and other sexual offenses are reported because, first of all, a lot of people don't have a voice. And we don't even know if they're going to be believed because, oh my God, the victim blaming in this part of the world is crazy. Now let's talk about his friend. This guy, he's called black voter. He's some sort of a nightlife party organizer, 30 December, involved in all of that. But he's quite popular on social media because of what he does. He's friends with South African, so when the news broke, he tweets this news with a heartbreak emoji. And people were like, is that all you have to say? This news? Is it because he's your friend? And so people began to dig. And then guess what we found? Some of the most out of pocket tweets I have seen in my life. Granted, they are from over 10 years ago, but he was old enough to know what he was talking about. And I'm telling you, just check out some of these tweets.
Child trafficking on my mind? Kitty says if four parties they come house today, my first act of fornication, lol. Just hug the girl who smells so good, I wanna grape her there and then, but I'm a chill. I see violent grape in Yasmin's future. Didn't grape her, was just checking if she was genuinely barren. It's not grape if you cover her mouth, not giving her a chance to say no. Aristocrats, thieves, and pedophiles, yep, those are the friends I have.
Are you not surprised? This goes to show what the average man thinks. And the problem with this whole situation is that people will say not a lot of men commit sexual crimes. That's actually false. It's false because some people don't even know they are committing sexual crimes. Some victims don't even know they have been sexually harassed, assaulted, or even raped. Like these things go on too many times in our society, and that is why I have no problem. Anybody who knows me knows that I have no problem saying men are scum because it might not be every single man. There might be good men out there, no doubt about it, but it's just so many men, too many men, for us to now be shy to not make the general statement. We can as much as go out for a walk at dawn without fearing for our lives or without fearing that someone is going to do something inappropriate to us. We can go to the gym, you're scared someone's going to touch you inappropriately. The list goes on. And honestly, it's tiring. And that is why I'm always talking about boy moms on my WhatsApp status where I'm most opinionated. And they might think that I have some sort of personal vendetta against them. That's not the case. I feel like a very important role is bestowed upon you as a mother if you have a son. Because centuries we have trained our baby girls, daughters are trained to act right, to do things right, to be responsible. And so you can tell that women are independent in the sense that they will cook for themselves, clean for themselves, study, go to school, get a career. As women empowerment is progressing in society, we are seeing more and more women do better for themselves. And right now there's almost this whole agenda or campaign talking about the boy child being left behind. That's because over the years we have trained and brought up the girl child, but we have to a large extent neglected the boy child, and we have not raised them, and they have grown up to become these men who do these things to us women. That is why I speak so much about boy moms, because oh my god, we need you to raise your boys. Because I would love to have daughters, and I'm going to need boy moms to raise their boys so that my baby girls wouldn't have to deal with incels. Now, what is consent? Consent is an informed in a sense that I have to know all the details. For example, if they're male twins that look almost exactly alike, one of them has a girlfriend, and they swap places, and the one who isn't the boyfriend does gets gets into bed with the girlfriend, that is grape. Why? Because she was not informed completely about the situation, about who she was letting in her bed. You see, for instance, another instance, if you have some sort of infection and you know about it, You do not inform this person. The person gave you consent, and if people did things together, later finds out that you had this and you didn't tell her, grape. Why? Because she was not informed. It wasn't, her consent was not given out of being completely informed of what she was getting herself into. The examples are many. Consent should be ongoing. So, my dear brother, even if you are in the act, let's start from the beginning. Foreplay. You guys are touching each other, rubbing each other, squeezing each other. It's ongoing. And then she says, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. You either stop or you become a sexual offender. Period. It doesn't matter if she agreed to come to your place. It doesn't matter if she came in on her free will. If she says stop, it should end. Even when you pass the foreplay phase, you are in the act. If she says I don't want to do again, brother, you pull out. Why? Because so many things could be happening at that time to a woman's body. If she doesn't want to do it anymore, you stop. You don't say, oh, please, 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 I'm about to finish. You will finish in jail. I feel like this whole grape culture is out of men's fantasy of conquering. It's like a chase for them. It's almost as if they are not content when a woman willingly gives consent. It has to be something that they struggle for to feel tough, which is crazy to me. They want to do it so that they go like, oh, that girl, I finish him. That girl, I floor him. You floor who? Without your tiny penis? Get out of here, man. Consent does not look like silence. And this just reminded me, there's this saying that goes around in Ghana a lot that silence means consent. And I just thought of it. Are they saying consent and they don't know? Because silence is never consent. The fact that the girl did not struggle, the fact that the girl did not give you a clear yes, the fact that the girl did not shout, does not mean that she willingly participated in whatever that you were trying to do with her. This is something that a lot of guys have to understand. Consent is not, you have to ask. Consent doesn't, it does not matter what kind of relationship you have with this girl, whether she's your girlfriend, even if you are married to this person. Nobody should ever feel obliged to do anything that they don't want to do. And that is what I need men to understand. Even if she's your wife, she's your whatever, you do not own her body. And you know, in a lot of countries, marital rape is not even a crime. In 2026, this just tell you how deep this problem runs. Honestly, I do not want to pretend as if boys or men do not get sexually assaulted. We are talking about the stats, the statistics. It's just, the difference is just too wide. More women get sexually assaulted. Every single girl you know, every single woman you know has some sort of sexual assault, sexual harassment, even grape story to tell you. It's that serious. And yes, even the men or the boys that get sexually assaulted, guess who does that to them often? Men. Let's talk about capacity for consent. A drunk person cannot give you consent. Someone who's unconscious cannot give you consent. Someone who's asleep, severely intoxicated, somebody who is mentally impaired, all of these people in this category cannot give consent. So if you end up doing anything with them and they want to press charges, they are in their right. Age. Oh my God, age. It's crazy to me that in Ghana, the age of consent is 16. And it goes to show that the people who are making the constitution were a bunch of men whose mentality were in a different place. Let's just say that. Because how? You can't drink alcohol if you're not 18 in Ghana. You can't vote, but you can give consent to sex? Tell me how. It's fine. Okay, so that's the consent age. Anybody younger than that, do not go close. And even if they come onto you, that's a child. That's a child. A child cannot give consent. So don't act dumb. Don't act oblivious. And it's funny to me that older men, 30s, 40s, 50s, will say, oh, she's 18, she's 16, so she's ripe. It makes me feel like if the age of consent is even 2 years, some of you will actually go in for 2-year-old children. I mean, what haven't we heard? Men rape babies. Is it not crazy to you? Coercion, the most important part. Consent has to be enthusiastic. It has to be an enthusiastic yes. If you have to over explain, over convince, make promises, make threats for somebody to agree to do anything with you, you have gripped the person because the consent was not given out of free will, it was out of coercion. Do you know how not to get into trouble? Ask, do you want to do this? Let the person say, yes, I want to do this with you. Can I touch you here? Yes, you can touch me anywhere. Can I kiss you? Yes, you can kiss me. If you people have crossed that stage where you don't really have to ask, that you're in a long-term relationship, all of that, I can understand why maybe asking might seem over the top. But immediately you start moving that way, and she says no, stop. That's withdrawal of consent. It doesn't matter if you've been dating for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. It doesn't matter if you're married. These are just surface stuff that I just wanted to come on here to talk to you guys about. Now, I'm going to tell you my story, my first time. And even though I'm very nervous about doing this, at the end of the day, we are adults. And I hope none of you think I'm a virgin. None of you are virgins. We are all adults watching me. So we have to have adult conversations about this. And I think I've kept this for too long. And as I said, I really do hope that this story teaches a young girl out there what to do, what to say. Also teach a young boy out there what not to do in situations like this. Let's name this guy Edard. Okay, he was my first boyfriend. We were both freshly out of high school. Still young, still teenagers. Very naive, also I thought. And for a year group straight out of high school, we went to university. He went to one university, I ended up in another university. So for a whole year, it was long distance. And so before university, of course, I'll visit him, a little smooching here and there, but nothing really serious. And then I switched schools, mainly because, as you all know, I wanted to become a medical doctor, and I was studying computer science in KNUST for a year, and it just didn't feel like I was ever going to reach my goal if I kept doing that. Anyway, story for another day. I like to say that. So I moved to the University of Ghana, and Edard was a student there. Even though he was another campus, it was city campus of the same school. So one time, soon after I had arrived in the University of Ghana, he invited me to his place because he didn't live on campus. He said his uncle, who he lived with, had traveled, so if I would like to spend the night. I had never spent the night at a guy's place, and he was my boyfriend for at least a year or more at that time. So I went, and to cut the story short, he started making advances. This time it felt different. This time it felt a bit more serious than what we would usually do. So I told him, I'm not sure I want to do this. It's like whatever, whatever. I don't remember his statement, but he kept on. He did not stop. So at this point, I'm not fighting, but I'm not enthusiastically saying I want this. And then he takes me to the room, and I'm still not saying anything because at this point, I know I can't stop him. So he proceeds to try to penetrate, and the pain is mind-blowing at this point because we are both young. He doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know what we're doing. I don't want to be doing this because honestly, I've always said that I wanted to make love for the first time during my honeymoon. This is not how I planned it because I don't want to describe the setting way. So it's too painful. I tell him to stop. I don't want to do this anymore. It's painful. I mean, we are still young. He doesn't know what he's doing. He knows nothing about foreplay. He knows nothing about lubricants. Just try to forcefully penetrate. The pain is mind busting. I'm like, no, stop. I actually said stop. I don't want to do this anymore. And he's upset. He's like, women are able to give birth. So is this thing that you can't take? So I keep saying it's painful. Leave me alone. I don't want to do this. And I remember him shoving me. So I fell to the floor. And at this time, I'm holding tightly to my private part because the pain was gut-wrenching. And when the pain finally subsidizes, I take my hand off and I see blood. So I burst out into tears because now there's visual evidence that I've lost my virginity. And to think that that wasn't my plan when I woke up that day. So I look over to him and he has this stupid smirk on his face, like he's achieved his aim. Like later on I get to find out that some of his friends advised him that now I'm a University of Ghana girl, Legon girl, and there are a lot of, rich guys and whatnot that may snatch me away from him. So the best way to try to keep me was to break my virginity. I mean, that's so childish, immature, silly, ignorant. I have no words. So probably that was his motive. Or he simply just wanted to do it without considering my feelings, without considering the fact whether or not I wanted to do this. So I look over to him and he has this stupidest smirk on his face. And that image is stuck in my brain. So at that point, what's done is done. So I just lay there and it happens. Now, we were in a relationship. So in my mind, okay, I guess it's done. But I feel like deep down in me, a part of me started to hate it. And I didn't even know. Because at that time, I am still naive and I still don't actually know that this is what has happened to me. That what just happened was rape because it wasn't consent. It was coercion. So yes, of course, we continued to be in a relationship. We did it multiple times. And probably those times were, more enthusiastic consent. But the fact still remains that very first time I said no. You pushed, you kept forcing, you coerced me. I said no and you didn't stop. That's coercion. And when I actually brought it up to him sometime, he was like, no, don't say I forced you. Say I persuaded you. Doesn't change anything. Persuasion, same thing. Because why do you have to persuade or convince someone to do something they want to do? Especially something as important as this. So, me losing my virginity to me did not stop me from leaving him when I felt like I had found someone I liked more. That also didn't work out. Story for another day. But that goes to show that if you're a young boy, that advice is the dumbest advice you would ever take. So we continue to talk. Me and him have been kind of cool over the years, but as I grew older and as I began to realize that what happened to me was actually grave, my hatred for him grew. So a couple of years ago, he's asked me a couple of times, why do I hate him so much? And it bothers me that up to now, he still does not know why. Or he does, and he's playing dumb. You expect me to be overjoyed about being your friend? All I'm saying is that I wasn't ready to give it to him or anybody at that time. And he took it away from me. That's grape. So if you're watching this, this is why I don't like you. And there's a story where on Nigerian Twitter where this guy actually unalived himself because someone posted a list of sexual offenders and his name was on it, and to him he hasn't raped anybody or whatever, so he felt his reputation had been destroyed and he actually took his own life. But then the truth was that he was sending unsolicited naked nude pictures to girls, which is sexual harassment. In his mind, he doesn't know that. So when his name was on the list, he felt he has done nothing. And so he was innocent. I'm saying this to say that Edard, which isn't your real name, if you're watching this, and Fabronya and Riagogo, and don't go and jump off a building because you feel like you had been accused of something you didn't do. Because you might not have known that this is what you did, but it is what you did. And I'm not lying. Nothing I've said in this video is a lie. Everything happened. And in fact, my brain has actually blocked some of the memories. And also, I'm such a bad storyteller, so I might have left out some details. But what happened is what I've said. This is what you did to me. And it's not like I want an apology. It's not like I want to press charges. It's been years. But if I wanted to, I would have every right to do so. So that's another lesson to you girls. If you're a victim, no matter how long it has taken, if you decide that this is the time you want to talk about it, this is the time you want to press charges, do it. You deserve justice. Don't let anybody tell you, why are you bringing it up now? And it's so worrisome that victims are not believed. I think my final notes, if you're a young girl out there, you might be scared when you're in a situation like this, and specifically in a situation where you're there with a partner, someone you trust, someone you know will not do you harm, and this happens. First of all, I would like you to be strong, like stick to your guns. Don't be scared to make it categorically clear that you don't want this. Okay, because I think a part of me just didn't know what to do. You might even freeze and it won't be your fault. But that's one thing I would like you to try and do. To categorically say no, even if you're scared. And if they still do it, please report. You're gonna have to take it to the police station because you do not consent for anybody to do that to you. And if you're a boy watching this, oh my God, boys, guys, sex is not conquest. Okay? Do it with, wouldn't you rather do it with somebody who wants to do it with you as well? Why must it be as if you won, like you fought for it and you won, or you chased it and you got it? It shouldn't be like that. And know that there are different forms of sexual offense. I want you guys to read, learn about these things so that you don't do it thinking I didn't know, saying I didn't know. Ignorance is not an excuse. You will do jail. Please. wish that us as young people do plan on teaching our children these things early in life so that the next generation will be better than ours. That's really why I'm doing this. Okay, and my enthusiasm and everything has been low in this video, but I hope you at least learned something. Okay, I love you, my beautiful pearls. See you in the next video. Okay, I hope I didn't forget anything. Love you guys.